Hello and welcome to episode 32 of our Timberborn update, 6 Wonders of Water playthrough here with the Iron Teeth faction in cycle 52, day 15. Got a bad tide coming up, so business as usual, nothing to worry about there since we had that solved for a very, very long time. But we do have some other issues to take care of today in preparation for future droughts and to ensure that we can have our final goal of over 500 beavers and everything taken care of so the farms can supply all of that. So, a couple of you guys have brought it up before, but our flywheel situation here isn't completely adequate any longer, and we're going to have additional power capacity put in. Not for right now, because again, the bad tides are going to make sure that we still have plenty of power because of these guys. But we need at least a couple more large vertical frame flywheels, which are going to go here, as they've done before. The main obstacle that we had was the expense of constructing them, and currently we don't have enough of the treated planks because we are building this thing, and we still need over 1,250 of these treated planks. So in the interest of, actually getting somewhere with the rest of this playthrough, because this is the capstone, right? This doesn't have to be finished until we're done. I'm going to pause that. And we're going to come over here with our large vertical framed flywheels. And I'm going to put that guy there, along with the large horizontal junctions so we can have power appropriately. And that is going to hopefully get us set up for the next drought in such a way where things are going to work out a whole lot nicer. And since a bunch of you have said stuff about this for several episodes, but we have a bad tide coming, we can't do anything about it right now, but we're going to talk about it. This sluice right here is currently blocking this deep water pump from pumping deep water. So we're going to have to turn it around or just remove it entirely. And we do have the capacity here with this irrigation barrier covered piece of land to get rid of this and put in another one of these sluices like we've been using here. If we decide that's what we want to do, I think honestly that's probably going to be fine. But I'm not going to do that right now because we have a bad tide coming in. And that's going to cause all sorts of problems. So we're not going to tempt fate. We'll wait until the bad tide's done, but we do want to do that. And we want to turn this one around or move it entirely. I don't think we're going to have to turn it around, honestly. Especially because, these are set to close when the depth gets too high, so we probably don't need the overflow at all, to be perfectly honest with you. But I do still like to have it just in case. So, all that being said, we're going to leave that alone. We do have them starting to work on this, so that's good. The problem we're having today is we don't really have enough in the way of logs. So we've got to continue blasting this out. But again, that's a process that takes a lot of time. So you're going to have to bear with me on that. I don't think, even though right now this is looking okay, I don't think that our situation with the farms is totally ideal. And I got a good suggestion in the comments of the previous episode to move the blueberries and the coffee bushes up here, since this is, a little bit closer to all the food stuff. And would allow our farmhouses to be more efficient. So I think we're going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to unplant all of this. And when it gets cut down, it's going to be cut down. And then we'll plant the blueberries and the coffee bushes because we do have the forester here. But then after that, we're going to be pretty much good to go. We're not going to have to worry about any tree removal occurring over here. These are marked for cutting before anybody asks. I did take care of that. So that is something we can look forward to, having some more capacity over here. And now we come to this area here. People have asked to move the Beaverburg District Center somewhere else. We've had a couple requests to bring it up here, had a couple requests to put it over the river, or just get it out of the way for the farms entirely. So I think the thing that's going to make the most sense is for us to have it on top of the river. We could also put the farmhouse, or farmhouses, plural, on top of the river by just, completely platforming over this, removing the path as well. And that would give us a lot of access to additional farmland that I think is going to be very helpful. So, of course, we're going to have to keep doing what we are doing, just like we always have. So I think the best way to do this, just get this bit right here, and we can actually build the district center, I've learned. Unlike in the water beaver mod, you just plunk it down, and it's there, and that's it. So that is a beautiful, beautiful revelation for us to have. And since this isn't hooked up yet, it's not going to be a problem. And what we're going to do next to it is I'm going to put in a couple of farmhouses. Just like so. And then we'll get this path, but not this one. This path put in. And right next to here, we have a little bit of space for some storage via small tanks. It's just so we can have some water present for the beavers to drink from. Actually, you know what? I'll do water and I'll do coffee. But that's going to free up a whole bunch of space here. We already talked about how these builders' huts were going to go away because we weren't really going to need them anymore. So that'll give us a whole lot of extra spaces here, and it's going to be fantastic. Going to be a really, really, really good upgrade for us. Now we just have to let the rest of this stuff get cut down. Wait, this isn't connected by paths? Oh, well that was a stupid mistake. Let's fix that. No wonder this wasn't working. We've got all these guys can't cut any of this down. I was like, why do I still have trees here? Well, problem solved. So they're going to take care of that. And then, of course, over here, we're waiting on some additional stuff to get done. We've got plenty of detonating to do. But then we come to our little breeding pod bonanza over here. And we got a really good suggestion. Kind of in the same way that we've done this. At least one or two of you commented, like, you know, I thought you were going to put more of these advanced breeding pods in. Because, you know what? We could just continuously stack this. There's no rule that says the dog can't play basketball. We've used that thing for a long time to talk about how it's dumb not to take advantage of nonsense, right? So, what I think we want to do is we want to take all this thing out and blast this down at least a couple more levels. So we can have a couple more stacks of these breeding pods, which will also allow us to free up space here that we can then use to put in some additional recreational facilities, as it were. And I think that's going to be pretty good. I know there's still a whole lot of stuff that needs to get done, more trees that need to get planted, and we are going to keep doing that, but just remember, folks, it takes time. It takes time. Not going to be a quick process, nor should it be. Sometimes you just have to put in the effort the hard way. I mean, none of this is hard. It's a video game. Who cares? But you have to be willing to commit to the ideas before you give up on them. Just like we did with the Apocalypse playthrough. Got a nice, good restart to that one in the most recent video. And I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun, even if we do still end up dying on, like, cycle 5 or whatever. Anyway, all that being said, it's bad tide time. And also time for us to take a look at something else you guys wanted me to fix, which was one of these right here didn't have any of the irrigation barriers in place. And that was something that was brought to my attention several times. I just didn't really fully understand what you guys were talking about. So we're going to pop those in there. We might need to put a couple more in, but this for sure will at least make a little bit of a help into getting this area de-bad-waterified. I guess we'll see what happens. Of course, that is on a long list of construction projects, so we're going to have to come back and check on that later. Underwater, we have steady progression toward this large vertical framed flywheel. It seems our production of the treated planks is once again our handicap here. Well, we got plenty of metal blocks, we got plenty of gears. Logs not so much. We are kind of dependent on those coming in and getting harvested appropriately. And there's still an equilibrium to that we haven't fully found yet, but I mean, everything that is growing currently, with the exception of these three, is marked for cutting. So that's looking good. And we'll go ahead and get this taken care of as well. Continue to blast this out as one does. And continue to put in some more of these trees as one does. Long term, of course, we're going to have to get rid of all of this nonsense. And I think we're going to go ahead and empty this dirt warehouse here so we can take care of that. And I've got to do something about this mess here. I think it's time to say goodbye to the engine Centrifuge-wise, we do have one up here, so we probably need to, you know, put a second one, but for right now, for the purposes of making this area arable for trees, we're going to go ahead, just say goodbye to all of this mess, because this is just a relic of times past that we do not need to remember. Let's go ahead and get all of this nonsense completely cleaned up. Get that power transfer thing removed, because this is all going to be trees, folks. Not going to have any need for any of that stuff. So away it goes. Away it goes. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, yeah, there's still so much in here. So this is why... This is why you don't do what I've done. You got to do stuff the right way, or it's going to come back to bite you in the butt. But, there you go. We've got this ready to go. We're just going to go ahead and get the rest of this all situated. I know it's probably going to be super hard for them to actually get in here to take care of stuff. We might end up just doing this bit by bit here. Got to give them the capacity to actually walk over here and do what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, that's the correct level. These right here, actually, you know what? We're not cavemen, we have technology. Just rotate this thing. They can't get stuck down there if they can't get down there, but they can take their dirt bits and pop them in here. Hopefully... Yep. Hopefully we can get this taken care of before I have to remove all of this mess here. Because we're definitely going to be needing some more stuff going on. So they do still have a little bit more they can plant. They can't quite reach everything, because of course they can't. That's not how this works. How am I supposed to fix this? Hold on. What in the world is happening here? Why is this still doing this? I mean, I guess the easiest way to solve that is just to pop in this right here, but I really thought we'd already taken care of that. Because this is already ready to go. I guess it's this bit. Can they reach this? I'll tell you what. Let's just try this one first for right now. But it's going to be a while before this gets built, so Eek. Well, that's no good. At any rate, there's enough going on now that's just going to take some time me fiddling, waiting for stuff to grow, that I think it's, once again, time for a time lapse. I know some of you love them, some of you hate them. That's just the way it goes. We're at the point of the series now where it would be video maker malpractice for me to make you sit through this in real time. So hopefully you'll be able to see and appreciate the effort that goes into that and understand that it's just not possible to show everything in real time. But we're going to get as much of this dynamite blasted and terrain put in and stuff built as possible before we come back and tackle a couple of other issues in real time. Because again, everything just takes time. We will see you on the other side of this one. Alright, so we're going to come out of the time lapse here, and hopefully you can see exactly how much we've managed to accomplish. This area, short of the planting, is pretty much ready to go. Obviously, we're going to have another forester squeezed in somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where that's going to be, but we'll make it happen. This guy can still reach most of this area. This guy is going to need a little bit of help. And if we're going to plant some trees over here, we also have to make that a thing. But for right now, it looks like we're doing okay with our log supply, and everything else is slowly catching up. Food we still have to do a little bit with. But now you can see over here I've got copy moved up. Here I've got some berry bushes planted. Still in the process of getting these trees grown, harvested, and then replaced. But, take a look. We've got extra space here to grow some farms. I've got this in place. So I figured what we'd go ahead and do, put this in normal mode. This is our Beaverburg 19 district center, which is about to go bye-bye. So now nobody's got district centers. Well, guess what? Now we've got District 2, which is henceforth named Beaverburg 19 once again. And there we go. Now that's cleared up, which means the shrub can go away, which means that can go away, which means that can go away, which means that can go away. And now we've got a bunch of extra farmland. And this path here I am going to keep, but we're going to straighten it out, which means we can get rid of this next bit over here. We'll keep our little thing of dynamite because I'm pretty sure that's the only place on the map I actually have any dynamite storage. Wait, no it's not. Okay, where's the other 200 then? Ah, okay, so this somehow has run out of workers, but how? I feel like that's, there we go. Almost taken care of. Looks like we didn't lose any crops. Alright, that was just one of those weird lagging things. But now look at this, we got all this space here, and because these farmhouses are right here, I can also get rid of this path and this farmhouse. I don't think we're going to be any worse for wear without it. And if we are, then I can put another farmhouse here, but now I've got plenty of room with which to grow additional stuff. So I'm thinking canola is probably going to end up taking over most of this. Keep this. Look at all those beavers that it says are homeless for some reason. I guess it just has to do recalculate. Look at this. It's like a, I don't even know, but they're all struggling. They all got my face painted on the tails. But hey, there's housing for you. Come on, guys, figure it out. I guess they just have to get reassociated with the correct stuff. Yeah, look at that. There you go. You got 63 well-being because you finally figured out that you actually have somewhere to go sleep. Good job. I think probably if the canola can actually grow in enough, we're going to solve a lot of our food problems. And I'm going to go ahead and unplant all of this mess. Let them just harvest it and we'll restripe a little bit. This tree finally got cut down. I was waiting for this. Now I can finally get this path hooked up. And we, of course, can continue planting our blueberries. Those do take some time to grow in. 24 days to get the first berries, which is why I haven't gotten rid of these yet. We do only have about 643 of those, and we do need them for this mess. So I figured if we're going to, we probably should go ahead and start the process of changing this to a multi-level deal. So if we make one more level of this, then these 6 advanced pods plus 6 more can go in here, which will give us a net plus of space for putting other recreational items, and give us an additional 6 pods from what we currently have. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get us to 500, but I'm very, very, very curious to see if that's going to be possible or not. So for us to be able to achieve what we've already gotten here, but stacked up again, we're going to have to blast 2 additional spots downward, which is going to require removing the ladders as well, because you can't blast under a ladder while it's still there. So now I've got to get this peeled back just like that. Make sure that I am basically only removing what I'm supposed to be removing. Just get rid of this mess here. So now I've got, I don't think I have a path in the middle. I think I should have gotten rid of that, but let's get these guys out of here and then plant our dynamite. I'm only going to go down, but I feel like I should go down, 4 levels. Probably going to be the best bang for our buck, so to speak, in case we need to do it again. So we'll go down 3. And then once that's placed, then I guess I could go ahead and take the intermediary ladders out here and just leave these. But go ahead and let them plant this. I know we have the materials to do it. So hopefully that doesn't become a pain in the butt. Yeah, they are going to take their sweet time with it, though. I'll tell you that much. So we'll have to come back and check on that. But if we can get our canola oil up with the rest of this so it's not that big of a problem, I think we're going to be in a very, 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 very good spot. It just takes a whole lot of fine-tuning. It's been kind of a pain in the butt, but we're going to get it done. That's what we have to do. These trees here aren't really that easily harvested because we don't have a very good setup for lumberjack flags over here. So I'm going to put this guy in right here. We have enough extra beavers where it really doesn't matter how many lumberjacks we have. We just have to get the trees actually cut down. I'll just keep on monitoring all of this mess. Yeah, we're going to have to wait for the next workday to actually get this taken care of. But getting this situated the way I think we're going to be able to do it should be pretty cool. And I know it's going to make at least a couple of you happy, so it's always, always worth doing. Still haven't seen anybody actually go down in the middle yet. Oh, 64, very good. So once this is done, we got to figure out what we're going to put up here. Take a look at our well-being stuff. Not going to fit a wind tunnel, obviously. We already have 4 of those, and that's fine. Motivatorium's obviously taken care of. Mud bath should be taken care of. Exercise plaza is still a little bit too big to go next to the other exercise plazas. So that really doesn't leave us with a whole lot, with the exception of rooftop terraces, which will fit on top of pretty much all of this stuff once we have everything moved. I just have to figure out how it's going to do so. We might have to do a little bit of finagling, reorient our frog statues, or just get rid of them entirely, depending on how we want to do this. But I think that's going to be our best bet, because we do have some rooftop terraces already up here, but there's honestly not a lot of capacity. I see, what, 6 of them? And we probably could and should put some overhangs on the top of this stuff and put in a bunch of rooftop terraces. But that might be a project for another time. We'll see what happens. For now, let's focus on getting this situated. Go ahead and detonate. And I'm going to go ahead and put this next bit of dynamite in, even though I know they can't reach it. Oh, come on. Lag. Get rid of this mess. Nobody's trapped inside, right? Good. Problem solved. So this is already down enough. I think I can get away with just doing a triple here. That hopefully will get us to the same level. We'll see what happens. Remember, we want this, when detonated, to be 1 below this undetonated, so everything matches up. I may have not done my math correctly. Surprise, shocker, that's never happened before. But I figured it probably wouldn't do us any harm to, you know, stop the breeding for a little bit, with the exception of these 6 pods, because we have 200 extra beavers. That has not been an issue thus far. I forgot they can build from above. They can actually reach all of this without it being an issue. So that's kind of a fun thing. Alright, so we'll go ahead and blow this up. Blow that up. Ah, it needed 1 more, of course. Of course. How could I have forgotten? Well, those 2 will be pretty easy. And then we can go ahead and start the process here. I know I can't click and drag. I don't know why I turned the camera around just then, but... yeah, just go ahead and get this situated like we need to do. Then put that there, put that there. Metal platform. Same kind of deal, you know the drill. And then, of course, get these guys going here. Okay, and then on top of that, you know the drill. Once again. Now, if this has us end up with way too many beavers, then I guess that's just a problem we will have to solve at that point in time. But as it stands right now, this is going to be 36 breeding pods, just how I've built it. So I'm going to hold off right there. If we have to, we can build additional ones. But I think it's going to be in our best interest not to overbuild, while we still have the opportunity to avoid that and just enjoy what we've been working on so far here. So just have that go right across there. They can take their time doing that, and then we can move on to what comes next, which of course is going to include planting additional berries and all that fun stuff. Get the rest of these crops brought in. But, I mean, honestly, a lot of this isn't going to really have that much of an effect until we've gotten through another cycle or two. Which is part of the reason why I like doing the time lapses so much. During the last one, this flywheel got built and now it is fully charged. So we've added another, well, I guess in reference to the existing 6, another, what, 18% more capacity. So hopefully that would get us through the longest drought. I think long term we're going to want to have, no, not that one, another one of these in here. But the amount of resources that this takes... oh no, actually we can. We can go ahead and build this. So if we make this the absolute top priority, get those guys in here to take care of that, then we might actually have this have some capacity by the time the drought starts. We're going to use it anyway. Might as well go ahead and do that. And it being a drought would also be a very good opportunity for us to go ahead and take care of this. So, I think that's going to be what we end up having to do. Remember, my goal here is to replace this sluice. So, we'll go ahead and do that. Get that planted. Of course, it's going to take some time. But since it's a drought and not a bad tide, crucially, I can actually go ahead, once this is put in place, or actually, no, I'm going to have to wait. But I can go ahead, once that's put in place, remove this path, remove this sluice, and then either turn it around like I've done with this one, or just, you know, replace it with something else. Because I want to be able to use this deep water pump, because our water numbers are slowly declining. And we're going to have to build some more of these things, which I guess we can go ahead and start setting up over here. We just have to be cognizant of what's going on. Yeah, so, you know what that means, friends. It's time for yet another time lapse, and I think this one is going to be probably a good opportunity to go ahead and close out this episode. I know it's not as long of a runtime today, but we're still getting a lot of really good stuff done, and hopefully we're going to set ourselves up splendidly for our wonder to be completed within the next couple, and maybe think about wrapping this one up in episode 35. Of course, you can let me know. You scream at me in the comments if you'd like, no, we gotta have this go on forever. I mean, it can't go on forever, but if you guys keep having good ideas and there's a reasonable way to do it, then we'll see what we can do. But all that being said, I'll let the time lapse do the rest of the talking here while we're doing our end of episode recognitions. Of course, you know we can't have a whole episode without acknowledging the Beard Boosters for their undying support of the channel. And now there's a whole lot more of you. I think we're up to 250 something again, because we had a live stream this past weekend, and you guys generously donated 102 gifted memberships. So thank you very much again for that. Directly supporting the madness that is this channel, and keeping it free of sponsorships from garbage nobody wants or needs. Or I don't know, you might want it, but I don't. And I don't want to put it in the videos. I want to just focus on enjoying the games and enjoying the community that we've got. So seriously, thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. And even if you're not part of that list, I want you to know that I'm glad you're here and that our community is made better for having you in it. So whatever it is, the reason that you chose to be a part of our fun here today, I'm just really glad we can share it with each other. Let's wrap this time lapse up and we'll do our end of episode stuff. And now it's cycle 54. Time for us to start wrapping up this episode. So, what we managed to get done was almost get the deep water pumps operating over here. But that's okay, because we gained one more by adding this nonsense back in. So now that can be working. The water situation has been not ideal, but it hasn't ever been a problem. We did run out of power. For those of you curious about how our flywheels held up. But as soon as this starts refilling and sending power down through here, then we're going to be fine. We do have, since the start of this episode, 2 new framed flywheels. We're probably going to have to build some more. But that's fine. That's the way it goes. So all we've got to do now is just keep on keeping on. The food situation, though, continues to get more and more alarming the more beavers we have. And I'm still pretty sure that it's because of our canola oil situation. So we did plant a lot more there. And we've got all these berries supposed to be removed because this area is now finally ready to be fully transformed into berries, which means this lumberjack flag can go away. So can this one, so can this one. This explosives thing I did set to empty, but it hasn't done that yet. So I'm pretty sure the actual demand on berries, once these are all in place, can be taken care of. We do have these guys ready to go. They're not really perfectly spaced out, but I think it's going to be fine. And we're going to need to remove these 6 as well once we get there. That can be a project for another time. But I know I said the episode's over, but I just want to go over a couple things before we actually say goodbye. Back here, I think, is a prime opportunity for us to put in some overhangs and then populate those with the rooftop terraces. We take a look at our well-being, and we do have to do a little bit with this, but the rooftop terrace is not quite all the way to all 400 beavers, and we're going to have 500, so I think we do need a little bit more capacity there. Campfires, we may need to figure out a solution for, but I think probably a lot of both of these is because they're working 16-hour days. But remember, we're not going to have any bots, so I think we do still need a little bit more capacity there. Aesthetics-wise, looking perfect. Our monuments, I did pause the tribute to ingenuity and all that because it was sucking up a whole lot of power. Wind tunnel, same deal. So we can finally turn these things back on for the beavers. And I know I responded to a comment on the last video that this row house was going to go away. Unfortunately, I am out of time, and if I keep going, then I fear it's going to cause backlash. So we are going to have to take care of this next episode. We're out some power stuff for that to happen, along with you know, planting some more stuff here. Again, I think most of this is adequate. We just need to be able to fully utilize all of the stuff that requires the canola oil. Probably need to plant some more corn, but once these are all removed and we just extend this stuff this direction, that should take care of most of it. And I know there's still space here I haven't populated yet, but I'd like to reserve that for the canola if we need it. But all that being said, we've had a really productive, really good episode. So I'm going to unpause the Earth Repopulator. We can finally start putting stuff back into that. And we're going to say goodbye for now, folks. So like I said in the time-lapse, I'm very glad you're here. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.